Mila.
Hello, Hannah.
How are you today?
Oh, my arm's hurting me.
So, what exactly is it that brings you in today? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so my husband and I got in a fight, and he got really angry, and he grabbed me on my arm, and it broke, and I went to the hospital, and they told me I should come see you, so I did.
Okay. And is this something that has happened before?
He gets angry sometimes. I make him angry, and my arm's never been broken before, but sometimes he'll grab me, or yell or throw things.
So lots of like fights or arguments happen.
Yeah, they just start, and it's usually my fault.
Why do you think it's your fault?
I make him angry.
Okay.
If I didn't, if I did things the way he wanted, he wouldn't yell at me.
And is it? I know you said that he yells at you, and then also he throws things, and he can get physical with you sometimes.
Yeah.
Is it just pretty much the physical and the verbal, or is there any other?
Well, he likes hunting, and one time I burned dinner, and he got his rifle out from the shed and started, yelling with it in his hand, and that was scary for me and for my children. But mostly it's yelling, but sometimes he hits me.
Okay. Do you feel safe in your home?
When he's not there, I do.
So when you're alone?
When I'm alone, when I'm with the kids. When he's happy, it's okay. Sometimes he can be very sweet, but when he's angry, I don't feel safe.
How often would you say he's angry compared to when he's nicer or happier?
He's mad a lot,
Okay.
but the very angry doesn't happen that often. So, like every couple weeks, he'll grab me or hit or drink. And when he drinks, it gets worse.
I can only imagine. I'm sorry to hear that happened to you. So, have you ever heard of something called a safety plan?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so in your situation, or people who are in similar situations as you, there is something called a safety plan, which is basically a variety of steps that you can take to make sure you are safe. And if you have kids, which you do, your kids are also safe. And in situations where a fight or something does happen, a way that you can get out safely before anything, physical or verbal happens that could put you or your children in danger.
Yeah, he's never hit my kids, but he yells at them, and he yells at them, at me, and hits me in front of them.
Okay.
So they get very scared.
I can imagine. So this is just an example of a safety plan. I am going to run through a couple of the sections for you, but this is something that you can take home to look at, or maybe look at after we're done here. Because I imagine he might not be too happy if you take this home and he finds it.
Yeah, he will wonder what this is, and then he'll get very mad.
This is something that I can discuss with you, and then over the next session or two, this is something that we we're kind of filling out together. So this top part is just saying that this safety plan is for you and kind of describes what it's used for. And then these are examples of people that you can call if something does happen. So like a counselor, an advocate, a shelter in crisis, a doctor or healthcare provider, This next section is places that you can go, you and your children could go, where you know that you would be safe. And then it also says, what doors, windows, elevators, and stairwells could you use to get out safely. So it would be the best options for you to use.
Okay.
Then this is one of the sections I would like to talk to you more about in depth. This is safety strategies as part of the safety plan. So the first one, I will leave money or an extra set of keys with blank so that I can leave quickly. Do you have someone that you think you could do that with?
Yes, my brother.
Okay.
My brother, he lives about 5 miles away. I could give him keys, and if I had to, I could walk there.
5 miles is a little.
Well,
It's a little bit steep,
but if he's
in an
my
emergency.
husband's angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I could take Uber to get there.
That sounds like a great choice. All right, the second one, I will keep copies of important documents or an extra set of keys at. Would you use your brother for that one too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Documents. Does that mean like, what documents?
Anything important. Whatever you think is important to you.
So like, I'm from Croatia, so my passport and my visas, things like those.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you have like birth certificates or like citizenship document, anything that you value as important that you feel like you don't want to be in the house, that would fall under the second one. All right. So the third one is I can leave extra clothes with blank.
I can do that with my brother, or I also have a neighbor who I talk to. I could do her.
Neighbors are good too. The next one, I will open a savings account by blank to increase my dependence. So is a savings account something that you think that you would want to do, having a separate savings account from your husband?
I could. My husband, he likes to do all the banking, so I don't know how to open one. But
if that's something you're interested in, we can definitely look into that.
Okay, but yeah, I could do that. Next week he's on a trip. I could go to the bank.
Sounds like a great plan. All right, I can tell blank about the violence and request that they call the police if they hear suspicious noises coming from my home.
Well, I think my neighbor.
Your neighbor?
She's close enough. She's heard it before. Okay. She's asked me.
All right. I can keep change for phone calls on me at all times. I understand that if I use my telephone or cell phone, the following month the telephone bill will let my husband or batter know which calls I have made. To keep my telephone communications confidential, I must either use coins or use public telephone, or I can get a friend to let me use their telephone, or I can get a friend to let me use their cell phone for a limited time when I first leave. Do you think you can make that happen?
Yes, my husband keeps track of all my calls, so yeah.
So this definitely seems like something that, even maybe change for a couple phone calls if needed. All right, I will check with blank and blank to see who would be able to let me stay with them or lend me some money in case of emergency.
My brother, and my parents would always lend me money, I think.
Okay, that's good. Sounds like your brother and your parents are definitely very supportive of you.
Yeah, they don't know what's happening though, but they would take care of me if they knew.
That's awesome. All right, I will sit down and review my safety plan every blank in order to plan the safest way to leave the residence. So I'd be reviewing this document.
With you?
We could do it together. I don't think it would be the smartest idea for you to take this home with you, but just to have it in your mind, maybe every, so often to go over it, just to see if there's anything that can be updated or changed, to make it an easier, transition if you do need to get out, if your safety's in danger. I will rehearse my escape plan and as appropriate practices with my children. Do you think that's something you could do?
My children are very young. I don't know that they'll understand escape.
Well, do you ever practice like fire drills with them, or like what to do in case of like a tornado drill. That's maybe not explain it in a way of like, oh, we're escaping from like daddy or something like that. But you could practice it as like a drill maybe once or twice, so they know like this is gonna be the fastest way to the house. Or maybe, you know, something you would do like in case of a fire would be something you could incorporate into the safety plan of this is gonna be, you know, the fastest way for us to get out and be safe. All right. I will use blank as my code for my children or friends they can call for help. Do you have a code word that you think you could use?
Well,
this is all stuff that you can think about. You don't necessarily need answers right this second.
Oh, okay, yeah. How about fire drill?
That could work. All right. I can teach some of these strategies to some or all of my children. But like you said, your children are pretty young, so like you said, I'm not quite sure if they would understand them, but knowing the fact that, you know, your husband's hurting you and, you know, yelling at the children, obviously that's not a very, you know, healthy environment for them to be in. So you can definitely explain that to them that, you know, maybe this is why we need to leave or this is why we need to get out. All right. And the next one, I will use my judgment and intuition. I have to protect myself until I, or we, if you're with your children, are out of danger. So this is kind of just the general strategies that you can use in the event that you do have to use this safety plan to get out safely. All right, so here's some information about safety at home. Here's a little bit of information about safety in public, or if you're at work. I'm not sure if you work or not, or if you're just at home. But like if you're going to the grocery store or something, or if you're, you know, picking the kids up from like, you know, daycare or something, that would be an example of that. Then here are just some tips for in case, you know, a fight or an argument does happen. So avoid rooms without an easy escape. Avoid areas with weapons. So like it's a bad idea for kitchens or bathrooms just because the hard surfaces and the weapons. So then, you know, kind of map out in your head how you would escape from each room, just so you have a plan in case that happens. And then consider some safe places you might go after escaping. All right, so this next one involves technology and safety. So I can let you read through that. And then we also have safety planning with children, which in your case is very important because you have your 5-year-old and your twin 2-year-olds,
yeah.
which they're pretty young.
Yeah.
So like it says, being in an abusive relationship can be incredibly scary and isolating, and it makes it worse if, you know, children are involved too. But, you know, this is basically ways that you can keep your children safe and yourself safe too.
Okay.
So there's also some tips for planning for violence in the home, which are on here, a couple of them: teaching your children when it would be appropriate and how to call 911. If things start to get heated with you and your husband, tell them how to leave the home and where they can go. For example, like if the neighbor's house would be a good place to go.
Yeah, she babysits for
okay,
the
so they're
twins,
familiar
so
with them, so
yeah.
they know they would be safe there. Like I said before, coming up with a code word, identifying a room in the house they can go when they're scared. Again, staying out of the kitchen and the bathroom because of those, you know, potential weapons, and the bathroom has those hard surfaces. Teach them that they shouldn't intervene even though they might want to, especially if they see you getting yelled at or see you getting hurt. And then make a list of people that they can talk to and express themselves to that they would feel safe with. So whether that would be, you know, if they're in daycare, if that would be daycare providers, or, you know, like your neighbor, you said the neighbor sometimes visits them or babysits them.
I'm just afraid if my children talk to people, then they'll get taken away from me. Then someone will call DCFS, and I'm afraid of having my kids taken away from me.
That's what this safety plan can help you with. So obviously you can't really control what other people do, but the safety plan is a way to make sure that the kids are safe and the kids are not in danger in case something does happen between you and your husband. So then also enrolling them in a counseling program. So this one, the DVRC, has a child counseling program for ages 5 and up. The 2-year-olds might be a little bit young, just to understand everything. So kind of just getting them to be able to listen to, which I know can be difficult sometimes. And then this, just a couple more, planning for unsupervised visits, planning for safe custody exchanges in the case that might happen. All right, I don't know if you have any pets or not, but safety planning for pets.
I don't have pets.
Okay, and then here's some tips for safety after leaving. More tips on safety after leaving. There's a lot on safety after leaving.
Oh, good, because I don't know what to do.
Yes.
If I left, I wouldn't know what to do.
Here are some things for preparing to leave. An example of stuff that you should take with you if you're going to leave. And then more stuff. So I know I ran through that really quickly, but if you want, you can, after our session, you can take a look at this. And if you want to leave it here, you can leave it here, and I can put it, with your other documentation, just so that your husband doesn't accidentally find it.
Yeah, I don't think I can take it with me.
Yeah, that's okay. It can stay here, it can stay safe, and at least you know that you have this resource for you if you need it.
Okay.
How does it feel kind of talking about this?
I mean, I until with my arm, I never considered leaving him, but it's really good to know that this all written down. Because sometimes when it's happening, I can't think.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't think on my own.
You're kind of put into that situation of, just sheer panic.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is helpful, and with my kids too, because they get so scared. They get so scared. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad you could come in today.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Sure.